virtually everything through his age, including religion. His life was about school, hobbies, and of course his friends. His personal favorites were Shelley and George Bernard Shaw.
Men are wise in proportion not to their experience, but to their capacity for experience. If we could learn from mere experience, the stones of London would be wiser than the wisest man.
Ballin, you're getting lost in your poetry again? Are you not ready? It is time for a tennis match. Come on, let's go.
You know, I'm always getting carried away with my reading. But tennis is a close second. I'm ready to defeat you. Let's go.
Ballin enjoyed acting in the theater, being part of literary club, debate club, and tennis. He had managed a lot of time for tennis and was on the university team. He even represented Lucknow University in singles matches against Mohammed, who represented India at Wimbledon.
Problems were looming large on a national level. There were mass strikes, process marches, and demonstrations. Students left schools and colleges to join the Mahatma Gandhi's Quit India movement. Ballin joined the movement in 1942. He became deeply involved in the movement, writing and distributing leaflets and organizing public strikes and giving speeches.
Our country is our first priority, and we must do whatever it takes. Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! You cannot do this. We will arrest you and you will rot in jail. Get them, especially Madrasi. I'm sorry, sir, but the Madrasi has escaped. What? Not for long. Find him. Do what all it takes. Yes, sir.
Since Ballin was considered a leader in the movement, there was a warrant issued in his name. Ballin went into hiding for a whole year and stayed in Kashmir. Occasionally he would travel to Delhi. However, he had to be constantly on the move to avoid causing suspicion and avoid getting arrested.
He was hired in the office of the British Military Intelligence Communication Center as a machine operator for relaying coding messages. He was very good at his job and gained his boss' confidence and support. This gave him a safe place to stay. It was a comfortable life, giving him time to read, think, and study for his final exams. After 8 months of service, Ballin had saved money and left his job.
Almost 2 years after the British had issued his arrest warrant, believing his case was wrong for Ballin, Ballin arrived in Punjab and associated himself with several freedom fighters.
Like most all the political prisoners, Ballin was confined to a cold, dark cell with poor food and little hygiene. Disease was everywhere and many political prisoners died each day. The British did not want to deal with the increasing prison deaths and sometimes prisoners disappeared. Ballin too felt very sick with typhus fever.
Oh, what's that skull come from him? Is he conscious or is he dead? If he isn't dead yet, he will be soon. We better throw him out while it's night right now. We do not want his death during our guard. Good idea. Let's ready?
Balin was thrown out by the British in the middle of the night, left to die. The next morning, as he lay unconscious and immobile on the side of the road, a Christian lady whose son was with the Indian troops in Europe passes by on the road and sees him.
Stop! That boy in profile looks just like my son's. Not my son, but somebody's son. He's burning with fever but alive. We must help him and take him home. Yes, ma'am, sir.
She took him home and gave him proper food and medicine and looked after him like her own son. She successfully nursed him back to health. After several weeks, Balin recovered, moving about on his own and feeling much stronger. Although the lady wanted him to stay longer, he was ready to move on. He was very thankful for her help, but convinced her he would be all right and was well enough to leave. The kind lady did not realize that she had saved the life of a future Hindu sage who would later become a grand global teacher.
Balin catches a train to Vadodara in Gujarat, where his cousin Archita Menon and his wife live. His cousin is a forest officer who's frequently out of the house on field work.
Is this Archita's house? I'm his cousin Balin. Yes, he is going to the room. Please come in. Mom, what happened to you? You look like a ghost. Yes, Balin put your food and drink. He looks like he is not well. Yes, right. Balin lives in his house and all his connections. Yes, that's why I'm until he falls away. Of course, he will be with a lot of time on hand. Balin writes articles for newspapers. Balin's articles were welcomed and published in national papers. But what do you think wrongly called the machine? Not I. When I write, I pretend that I'm a mochi, a cobbler, to write from the common man's angle.
It was writing that fetched him money, but it was reading that gave him meaning to his life. Looking for reading material, he found some magazines about Archita's wife. They're called Divine Life magazine.
Here's an interesting article by Swami Chinmayananda, founder of the Divine Life Society in Michigan. It reminds me of the sages who used to come to our house in Cochin.
Now fully recovered, Balin goes back to Lucknow and completes his master's degree in English with honors in journalism. He goes to Bombay to join a newspaper and quickly learns all the areas of work. His ideas are radical. He leaves the newspaper and in 1945 returns to Delhi, the center of the political activity.
works for the newspaper started by Nehru never came into action. Nehru is now called as man about town, wearing fashionable suits, yet he wrote about every aspect of life. He was invited to homes and wealthy and was popular because of his work that made touches. His sympathies were for the poor, but at the same time he actively participated in the life of the rich class.
Nana, I read your article in the paper in praise of the postman. It really made me think, although I don't think everyone can understand what you're trying to say. People must be wondering why you're writing about these ordinary people. Did you read his article, The Mochi, Full of Craftsmanship? Maiden, I read your article in the paper in praise of the postman. It was brilliant, although I don't think everyone can understand what you're trying to say. People must be wondering why you're writing about these ordinary people. Did you read his article, The Mochi, Symbol of Craftsmanship? I really enjoyed that one. How do you write from the common man's perspective when we're not government? Anyone can put themselves in another person's place. It takes some compassion and a willingness to do so. And if these people not hardworking, where would you and I be without them?
Adam's passion for self-expression, the need to participate in nation freedom, created of an extremely dynamic constitutional reporter. He was loudly voiced on every aspect of India in life history, culture, and of course current topics.
Throughout the day, he was engrossed in his work. However, in the evening, he was once again studying philosophy, both Indian and European. There was an unrest in his heart which led him to return his childhood habits and his favorite mantra.
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
At this time, Bong was living with his uncle V.K. Govindaman, who was a great scholar in scriptures.
Bala, did you know, according to our Sanatana Dharma, in each century, great masters are born to interpret the ancient scriptures to that time and for the people of that time.
Really, Uncle G? I don't know if I believe that. I don't see any great masters here in our time. But what you were saying reminded me of a unique and strange experience when I was traveling before I went to the university.
Balaam relates to his uncle that some years ago, in 1936, he got a student railway pass to travel all over South India. In his travels, he sees a large hut with people waiting outside in the heat and juice. He went inside and saw Swami lying on a platform. This was none other than the great Ramana Maharshi. Swami opened his eyes and looked right at Balaam, giving him a very intense feeling like he was being hypnotized. It was only years later that Balaam understood the feeling after meeting the great Ramana Maharshi.
It was a crucial moment after he came across the Swami Chinmayananda, Vivekananda, Ram Kirtan, Maharshi, and others. On the other hand, he noticed many sadhus in the middle of the lucky Hindu ideals, and this bothered him a lot.
I'm going to find out how the holy men are keeping up the bluff.
Are you going to introduce Savior's God? Help them. The Swamis will need all the love that they can get, and you're going to be badgering them.
Ha ha
thought still lingered in the mind of the self-proclaimed agnostic. He decided to explore right where the action was, in the Himalayas, the center of the spiritual life in India. Thus, in the summer of 1947, the radical young journalist goes to Swami Chinmayananda's ashram with the intention to find out, what is the true meaning of spirituality? Does it make any sense in life? He thought it would be a good subject for his new article. Stay tuned to the next play to find out what happened to Rishikesh.
Alright, so that was a skit by second and third grade. Can we have all the second graders on the stage for introduction? So in scene second, there's Sani as narrator 3. Sani. Balavihar. Police captain as Ayur. Police officer Pranav. Adira, narrator 4. Sanjeev, narrator 5. Murali, narrator 6. And we have kid for scene 4, which is narrator 10, Sani. Balan is Ankit. Servant is Amulya. Achyutan, Shamik. Achyutan's wife, Anika. Narrator 11, Abhinav. Narrator 12, Akhil. Narrator 15, Nitya. Then from scene 6, we have narrator 18, Amulya. Friend 1 is Bhavin. Friend 2, Ayur. And narrator 19, Sanjeev. Our narrator is Sarika. At Lucknow University, Balan was Siddharth. Balan's friend, his tennis player friend, is Pavan. Okay, in scene 3, we've got unconscious Balan is Rohan. Our prison guard for Samrat is Shruti. The lady who saves Balan is Pavitra. Our driver is Prana. And our narrators are Dipali and Sari. In scene 5, we've got Friends of Balan, we've got Rivati and Moni. Balan in this scene is Dave. Okay. Our narrators are Pranati and Anjali. And then for that last scene, that young Balan is Ronan. And Ramanayashi is Shrinkar. What do you all think about? All together?